Amazon Incorporated, a giant among men or a looming disaster? Today we'll be looking at some of Amazon's business practices and some particular pickles that they've gotten themselves into over the year. Amazon employs over 1.1 million US associates and 1.6 million associates worldwide. Not bad for a company that only started 25 some odd years ago. Their mission statement coincides with their vision statement, which is to be Earth's most customer-centric business. With such vast selection and opportunity to buy whatever you want at the click of a button, I feel like they're going a great way towards being Earth's most customer-centric business. And yet, for all they do for their most important customer, their employees, we feel that they are falling short. Amazon provides some fantastic benefits to their employees, be it vision, dental, and health for as low as $80 a month, guaranteed work every week, and a steady paycheck. We feel that they just don't quite get what their most important customer needs. Jeff Bezos has said that the workforce is necessary but replaceable in the warehouses. Amazon suffers from a 159% turnover rate as of the end of 2020. Out of 300 employees that started with Amazon 1.5 years ago, I stand before you as one of only 2 that has survived 18 months of work at Amazon. It is a constant meat grinder that brings people in and spits people back out. This is due in large part to job simplification. Everything at Amazon has become so simplified. You will only do one task, but that one task you'll do really well. Until you decide you want to do more, until you decide that, you know what, I'm capable of more. At which point, you suffer from job enlargement, where what you are expected to do increases, but your pay and your rewards stay largely the same. This leads many associates to suffer from work overload and even burnout. This alone causes a high turnover of highly qualified and highly specialized employees. Amazon has projected that in 2024, they will run out of people to hire for their US warehouses. This is going to be an issue because this will affect their vision and mission statements, because they will no longer be able to provide for those services that they have become so accustomed to serving. Now, with so much going on and so much to do, I will turn the time over to Matthew to tell us what's next.
Thank you for what you said, Kyle, about Amazon, and it's kind of digging into some of the statistics for me to dig a little deeper into. As far as for any of our audience out there watching, Kyle actually works at Amazon, and he knows what it's like to work at a company with some of this stuff. Like Kyle mentioned, he's one of 2 employees out of 300 that are still there working there after a short period of time, 1.5 years. Which is unbelievable. To have this high of a turnover rate at a company, it can be very problematic and detrimental. So to dig into that even more, Kyle also mentioned 159% turnover rate out of his findings and research. So that's pretty intense. I want to kind of dig into some more statistics a little bit. That's roughly about 3% of your entire workforce at Amazon per week you're losing, which is very, very high. Another thing that is kind of a leak or a statistic that I found is in 2024, Amazon is expecting or predicting that they will run out of people to hire in the US, which obviously is a problem. If this is true, which honestly I think is possible. From my findings. Another thing, in 2019 alone, Amazon hired 770,000 hourly workers. Out of those 770,000, they retained fewer than 150,000. So that puts it in perspective for you, like what's going on. So what's fueling these high turnover rates? From my findings, I think it's a factor of things. I think their injury rate is higher than any other company I can find. Their injury rate is 6.8 serious injuries out of 100 people. Most companies are about 3. So that's more than double. That could be a factor for a high turnover rate. Another thing is unrealistic expectations. What's not being met? What's people? What are they thinking when they start working there? Is it not what they thought? This could also lead to it. Another one is low pay, depending on the area you're in or where you're at. Is it worth it from a financial perspective? But I think the driving factors for these high turnover rates are actually automated interviews and automated hiring processes that Amazon has. And what these employees are doing to get hired is, checking a few boxes online, taking a drug test, and you're hired, you start. So there's not really a big screening process. And this could also lead to a high turnover rate. So what are ways to kind of help Amazon figure some of this stuff out? I'm going to let Eric touch on that and let him have a crack at it. So thank you for watching me, and off to you, Eric.
Hey guys, so like it's kind of been talked about, we're working on Amazon and some of their issues just with employee retention. And I made a big list of different things that they could do, and unfortunately for Amazon, but maybe fortunately for us in this group, it was really easy to find websites and chats and discussion boards on what in the world Amazon should be doing. And also being in this class, there provides a lot of information for us to pull from. And I think there are many things that Amazon does very well. Amazon is very good at paying their employees good competitive wages, and I think in a lot of areas, especially in the United States and outside of the United States, they are the leading standard for not just minimum wage, but then the next $10 or so, the next few positions of employees. I think what it came down to, though, is there's a couple of things that Amazon's not doing very well. One of those main ones was creating a culture of, trust. Amazon could really work on providing flexibility for employees, kind of showing trust in their employees by letting them dictate if they can work from home for a day, obviously job permitting, and they can take a little PTO if they need it. Obviously, they can't always afford to do unlimited PTO, but I know when I'm able to take some time off at my own free will, I then feel maybe not obligated is the right word, but I'm going to use obligated to say that, when push comes to shove, I'll stay after 5. I'll work a little bit longer, and that doesn't bother me. And then they're starting to, actually, we're seeing it a little bit in some places, but maybe not for just the everyday warehouse employee, of providing opportunities to develop hard and soft skills. Amazon has many needs. They have a high turnover rate, as was discussed in the earlier videos. And there's many roles that could be fulfilled by their own employees. And one of the best things that companies of old have done and some are currently doing is training their entry-level employees how to do something a little bit more. Though this is an amazing country with lots of opportunities, not everyone has the desire or opportunity to go to school. But if a big company like Amazon can teach me how to do, say, some analytics or run a little bit better with the operations and work in management, I think you'll gain the loyalty and trust of employees, and they will then give you more. They're willing to stay with the company, and they're willing to move up, and they're willing to recommend it. I think there's so many people in this world that want opportunities to grow and develop, and Amazon has a wonderful opportunity by being one of the biggest companies and biggest hiring companies in the country, and that will help kind of shift the dynamic of their massive outpouring of employees and kind of board that leak up and keep the employees in within the company. And then lastly, I just had one other note that really I thought would help them out, and that's developing a culture of listening. One of the best things for people is to feel like they're being heard, to feel like they have an opportunity for growth, because their management knows who they are and what they're interested in and what they want to accomplish. Amazon is a huge company and they have so many managers and so many people involved, and obviously their goal is to run efficiently. And credit where credit is due, they have done that. They run more efficiently than probably any company in this world. But if they could take an extra 30 minutes of a manager's time, say, per employee that they manage, and just have them sit down, ask them some questions, see how they're doing, get a feel for their family life, for their ambitions, for their personality type. It's really hard to help get the most out of your team and be the most efficient if you can't put the team together that's the dream team. And I think Amazon has the capability to bring on every member of every team to be a member of a dream team. And I think if Amazon is willing to listen and hear and train their employees on how to do those type of one-on-one interviews, it would be an incredible shift in their culture. So that's just a quick summary and list of what Amazon could try and do moving forward to become, as Jeff Bezos says, the best employer on earth. That was a recent interview that he did. He said he wanted Amazon to be the best. And so I think moving forward, we'll see some of those shifts, and I hope that we see some of these items taken care of. So I'm just going to pass it off for a quick summary, but thanks for listening, and you guys take it easy.
So, kind of to summarize what Kyle, Matthew, and Eric have all said, Amazon has the ability to be one of the best employers on earth. They are very much a customer centered business, but they do lack a lot when it comes to employees and making sure that their employees are very well taken care of. Um, they do offer great benefits, which some of those benefits are not even comparable to other companies. They're great. However, their turnover rate is so high. I believe it was Kyle that stated it was 159% and back in 2020, which is crazy. And as Eric stated, there's a few things that can hopefully help with that. I do want to mention that Matthew had said that it could be the automated hiring and the automated interview process. And I do have to agree that that is something that Amazon could change. There's less of a personal feel when you get hired on through an automatic process. You don't get to meet your managers, you don't get to meet the HR, you don't get to meet anybody, you just start on the job, which can make it feel impersonal, and it can make a lot of people feel as though they're not being listened to or even acknowledged as an employee to begin with, which can cause the high turnover. Um, so, and screening process. Sometimes it's not the best fit for people, but since it's automated, they take the job because it's a job, which understandable. Um, I think some of the things that Eric said that we Amazon could change definitely is creating a culture of trust, because although they are the leading company when it comes to wages, they still do lack a lot of company resources or employee resources. Um, if there's that high of a turnover, there has to be lack of trust somewhere within the company. So learning to create that trust within, having employees to have more autonomy over what they choose to do, providing them with the skills, providing them with a schedule of what needs to be done, but letting them have free reign might also help with employee morale, because employee morale, once it starts to go down, that's kind of when the turnover can begin to get high again. Um, if they can work remote and it's possible, that's definitely a great option. Uh, Job enrichment, there's people who get very, very frustrated doing the same thing over and over again. I'm one of those people. I like to be able to learn new skills, move around, things like that. So, job enrichment definitely could help Amazon. Amazon has the potential of being one of the greatest companies to work for, but they do need to focus more on their employees right now, opposed to other things. I don't know. I feel like that should be one of their main focuses, just with everything we've heard. Um, like just Jeff Bezos said and Eric mentioned, they do want to be the best employer on earth, and I think they have that capacity. But there's just those few things that they should definitely change.